The United States bicentennial $1 coin, dated 1776 to 1976, stands as a proud numismatic symbol of America's 200th anniversary of independence, struck in both circulation and collector editions. This coin is not only a monetary instrument, but also a historical artifact that commemorates the ideals, sacrifices, and legacy of the American Revolution. Issued by the U.S. Mint as part of a special bicentennial coinage series, it replaced the regular Eisenhower dollar design for a brief time. The obverse of the coin continues to bear the familiar portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, designed by Frank Gasparro, the then chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. Around Eisenhower's image are the inscriptions, "Liberty" at the top, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the dual date 1776 to 1976 at the bottom. These dates were used in place of a single year to mark the bicentennial of the Declaration of Independence. This unique double date was a hallmark of all three denominations in the bicentennial series: quarter, half dollar, and dollar. The reverse of the coin, however, is what sets it apart and gives it historical resonance. Designed by Dennis R. Williams, a then 22-year-old art student who won a national design competition. The reverse depicts the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon, a striking image that symbolically ties together the American Revolution and the space age. The Liberty Bell, an enduring symbol of American freedom and independence, reflects the ideals of 1776, while the moon, referencing the Apollo space program, points to the progress and pioneering spirit of the United States in the 20th century. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions "United States of America" and $1, with "E pluribus unum" placed to the left of the bell. The composition of the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar varied based on mintage type. Circulation. Coins minted in Philadelphia no mint mark and Denver D mint mark were struck in copper-nickel-clad composition consisting of a core of pure copper and outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. However, San Francisco's mint mark also issued collector-grade 40% silver-clad coins, available in both proof and uncirculated versions, often sold in special presentation sets. These silver versions are heavier and have a more lustrous appearance, aimed at numismatists and collectors. Historically, the bicentennial dollar was met with mixed usage. Although it circulated, it was not widely used by the public in everyday transactions due to its large size and weight compared to paper bills. However, it was beloved by collectors and widely hoarded, making high-grade examples still relatively easy to find today. In circulated condition, most of these coins carry little more than face value, but uncirculated and silver proofs can range higher in numismatic markets depending on condition, packaging, and composition. Additionally, this coin represents a unique moment in U.S. history where national identity, celebration, and design converged in a single currency issue. Unlike typical yearly coinage, this was part of a grand patriotic commemoration, officially authorized by Congress in 1973. The initiative also included redesigned quarters and half dollars, each bearing their own Revolutionary-era themes. The bicentennial dollar thus forms part of a trio that helped educate the public and reignite patriotic interest in American history through widely circulated art. Collectors may particularly value the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar, as it is the only dollar coin with dual dates in U.S. history and one of the last large-format dollar coins before the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced in 1979. As such, it stands not only as a bridge between two centuries but also between two eras of American coinage. For those who lived through the 1970s, the coin evokes the spirit of the bicentennial celebrations, parrots, fireworks, reenactments, and a renewed sense of American identity. For younger generations and collectors, it offers a tangible link to the nation's enduring legacy and its continuing journey from independence to innovation. Next top. The 2009 United States of America $1 coin, often associated with the presidential $1 coin program, is a modern collectible piece rich with symbolic, political, and historical significance. Struck in both Philadelphia P and Denver D mints, the coin does not bear a traditional Liberty inscription on the obverse as seen in many past coins. Instead, Liberty is subtly represented through the strong portrayal of American presidential leadership and ideals of democratic governance. The presidential $1 coin program, authorized by the Presidential $1 Coin Act of 2005, was designed to honor each U.S. president in the order of their service, issuing 4 coins per year from 2007 onward. In 2009, the series included William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Polk, and Zachary Taylor, each featured on their own distinctive obverse design. These coins are golden in color, composed of a manganese-brass alloy, 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, 2% nickel, and measure 26.5 millimeters in diameter, giving them a unique hue that sets them apart from previous dollar coins like the Eisenhower or Susan B. Anthony issues. One of the key features of the 2009 presidential $1 coin is the edge lettering, a reintroduction of a technique rarely used. In modern U.S. coinage, along the edge of each coin is inscribed, E pluribus unum, in God we trust, and the year of minting and mint mark a dramatic departure from traditional flat surface inscriptions. In 2009, however, there was a legislative change. In God we trust was moved from the edge of the coin to the obverse, starting with that year's issues. This change came as a response to public concern that the nation's motto was being minimized by its placement on the edge. As a result, coins from earlier in the series 2007-2008 differ in this regard, adding a layer of distinction and interest for numismatists. Each obverse in the 2009 series features a striking portrait of the respective president, their name, order of presidency, and years of service. For example, the William Henry Harrison dollar, issued in early 2009, depicts him with a somber expression, reflective of his status as the shortest-serving president. Having died just 31 days into his term in 1841, the John Tyler dollar, following Harrison's issue, marks the presidency of the first man to succeed the office without being elected to it. Tyler's controversial political legacy and shift from Whig to independent politics is indirectly acknowledged through his place in this series. The James K. Polk dollar, third in the 2009 lineup, honors the 11th president, known for his role in expanding U.S. territory through the Mexican-American War and the annexation of Texas. Lastly, the Zachary Taylor dollar, released in the final quarter of 2009, pays tribute to the 12th president, a military hero whose untimely death left key issues of slavery and secession unresolved on the eve of the Civil War. The reverse design of all presidential $1 coins is uniform across the series. It features a powerful image of the Statue of Liberty, arm raised in welcome and illumination, as a lasting symbol of American liberty, freedom, and democratic values. Sculpted by Don Everhart, this iconic reverse celebrates the unchanging essence of the United States. While the rotating obverses reflect the diversity and evolution of presidential leadership, while these coins were produced in large quantities, their presence in everyday circulation has been limited. Public unfamiliarity with dollar coins and a strong preference for paper currency meant that most of the 2009 $1 coins were collected or stored rather than used in everyday transactions. The U.S. Mint responded by limiting mass production in later years. However, for collectors and historians, the 2009 presidential $1 coins represent a meaningful and educational tribute to American political heritage. In terms of numismatic value, most 2009 presidential dollars hold face value in circulated condition due to their modernity and high mint. However, uncirculated examples, particularly in mint sets or proof sets, and those with errors such as missing edge inscriptions, can attract premium value among collectors. Coins certified in high grades by grading services like PCGS or NGC, MS67 or higher also command a modest premium, particularly for coins with strong strikes, luster, and full-edge lettering. In conclusion, the 2009 United States $1 coins, while technically modern, commemorative issues bridge the gap between historical tribute and functional currency. They encapsulate the legacy of past presidents, the ideals of liberty and unity, and the evolution of American numismatic artistry. Though rarely found in your wallet today, these coins serve as tiny golden windows into the nation's storied past, immortalizing both leaders and lessons that continue to shape the American democratic experiment. The 1990 United States half dollar is part of the Kennedy half dollar series, a long-running and iconic coin first minted in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination in November 1963. The 1990 edition continues the legacy of this commemorative issue and remains a significant collectible and historical artifact. The obverse front of the coin features a left-facing profile of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, the 9th chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. This design was created quickly after Kennedy's assassination and approved with remarkable speed due to public demand for a tribute to the fallen president. The obverse inscription includes the word liberty arching around the top, "In God We Trust" divided by the profile at the bottom, and the date 1990 placed centrally below the bust. On the reverse back, designed by Frank Gasparo, is a eagle modeled after the presidential seal. The eagle clutches an olive branch in its right talon and a bundle of 13 arrows in its left, symbolizing the United States' desire for peace but readiness for defense. A ribbon bearing the motto "E pluribus unum" flows above the eagle's head, and 50 stars encircle the eagle, representing each U.S. state. The words United States of America and half dollar appear above and below the design respectively. 1990 Kennedy half dollar was struck in two main formats: business strikes for circulation and proof coins for collectors. The circulation coins were minted at the Philadelphia Mint No Mint Mark and the Denver Mint D Mint Mark, while the San Francisco Mint produced the proof coins S Mint Mark. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 21.8 million coins, while the Denver Mint struck around 23.9 million. The San Francisco Mint produced approximately 3.3 million proof coins that year. These numbers were relatively modest compared to earlier decades, reflecting declining demand for half dollars in everyday commerce during the late 20th century. In fact, by the 1990s, the Kennedy half dollar had largely fallen out of regular circulation, and many banks didn't carry them routinely. Most 1990 half dollars, especially those from Philadelphia and Denver, were issued in mint sets or ended up with collectors. The composition of the 1990 Kennedy half dollar is copper-nickel clad, made of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. The coin has a total weight of 11.34 grams, a diameter of 30.61 millimeters, and a reeded edge. Unlike the original 1964 silver version, the 1990 coins contained no silver. This clad composition had been standard since 1971, after the U.S. government discontinued the use of silver in most circulating coins due to rising metal prices and hoarding. From a numismatic and historical perspective, the 1990 half dollar represents the continuity of honoring John F. Kennedy's legacy, despite the declining role of half dollars in the economy. These coins are often collected more for their connection to Kennedy or as part of a daytime mint set, rather than for rarity or intrinsic value. In average circulated condition, a 1990 half dollar is generally worth its face value of 50 cents, though in uncirculated condition, prices may range between $1 to $3 depending on the coin's quality and luster. Proof versions, particularly deep cameo DCAM examples, can sell for $5 to $10 or more, especially in pristine condition with their mirror-like fields and frosted devices. High-grade coins certified by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC can command higher prices, especially if graded MS67 or higher. Though such specimens are relatively rare, the Kennedy half dollar itself occupies a unique place in American coinage history. Initially, it was minted in response to a national tragedy and quickly became a cherished collectible. Over the decades, the coin has transformed into a more ceremonial item still produced but seldom used. The 1990 coin is from a transitional era when the mint was still issuing millions of coins annually despite declining public use. For collectors, especially those assembling a full set from 1964 to the present, the 1990 half dollar is a necessary inclusion. It offers a snapshot of both late 20th century American numismatics and the lasting cultural memory of a beloved president. Overall, the 1990 Kennedy half dollar holds enduring historical, cultural, and sentimental value. It reflects both the American people's continued reverence for John F. Kennedy and the evolution of U.S. coinage in a time of changing public habits and economic priorities. Whether kept as a memento, included in a coin album, or passed down through generations, it remains a quiet testament to a nation's tribute to one of its most iconic leaders.